Welcome to Heartglow CEO, where high achievers evolve into purpose-driven powerhouses. I'm Casey Rossi, your integrative leadership coach. Join us to break free from people-pleasing and burnout, exploring mindset, embodiment, and soul alignment. Discover expert insights, success stories, and actionable tips for holistic wealth on your terms. This is where transformation meets the modern female leader. Let's go. There's a moment in every soulpreneur's journey where the path forward feels fuzzy. Not because you lack direction, but because the grooves you've worn into your systems, strategies, and psyche have grown too deep. You're cycling through the same motions: launch, post, promote, deliver, repeat. And yet, results may feel stagnant, the fire slightly dimmed or out, the intuitive spark buried beneath obligation. That's when you need to go back to square one, not in defeat, but in devotion. Today we're talking about back to square one, your time for a brilliant business reset. What does square one mean? In the traditional sense, it can feel like regression, like you're starting over. I know when people talk about it, it can have a negative connotation, like back to square one. Let's reframe. Square one can be a sacred place, a portal into possibility, a return to beginner's mind where we set aside what we think we know to see things clearly again. When we peel back the layers of ego, automation, and assumptions, we often find a fresh truth. That what once worked still has relevance, we've just stopped doing it. Why? Because we grew, we evolved, or maybe we just got comfortable. I can relate to this. When I had a full book of business, I stopped marketing and networking. I didn't make the time. I told myself this is how it's always going to be, and quite frankly, coasted. Have you experienced a time like this? It reminds me of a quote from Michelle Obama. We are never finished. We are always becoming. Today, I invite you to re-enter the mystery, to acknowledge that you're not finished, you're just becoming the next version of you. With your feet on the ground and your heart open wide, let's get curious about what's driving your actions and if those actions are still in alignment. What used to work and why did it stop? Pause for a moment and think back to when business felt magnetic. Maybe it was your first sold out offer, a viral post, a client who told everyone about your magic. Now ask yourself, what actions did I take back then? What energy was I in? What drove me? Necessity, inspiration, joy? What were my systems and how did I stay connected to my audience? When did I stop doing those things and why? More often than not, the answer isn't about some mysterious algorithm shift or a fluke in timing. It's that we let the muscle atrophy. If you used to connect one-on-one with people in your DMs and they turned into clients, but now you solely rely on scheduled content, there's your gold nugget. Science backs this up. Studies on business momentum from Harvard Business Review suggest that entrepreneurs are most innovative in their early stages. Why? Because they haven't yet been boxed in by the way things are done. They're scrappy, resourceful, and willing to try. And often the most successful businesses are those that retain the beginner's flexibility. Can you relate to that? Do you remember that? It's really easy to forget, especially when we are established. So, what did you used to do that you no longer do that worked? Have you been running on autopilot? Let's be honest. It's easy to rest on our laurels, especially when we're fully booked or have had a good quarter. But when was the last time you checked in? Are your offers aligned with who you are now? Is your marketing a true reflection of your voice or just regurgitated advice from a marketing course? Or worse, fully outsourced to AI? Do you feel spiritually and emotionally connected to your work or just checking boxes? This audit is what I call the soul strategy audit. It's not about scrapping everything. It's about realignment. It's tuning in to the wise voice inside, asking what wants to come through me now. You know I love conscious leadership. This question, said in a different way, is how does love want to be exposed? How does love want to be expressed through me today? That might mean flipping the page entirely or simply returning to what was pure and potent at the beginning, before all the noise. I don't suggest anything that I haven't done, tried and tested, or am currently in the process of and sharing in real time. I'm watching the market right now, my clients and prospective clients' behavior and their reactions. And it's time to readjust. Stay tuned for how that's going to play out in my offerings. It's exciting, it's relevant, and it's answering the call of now, not 10 years ago, but now. What about you? Let's get mystical and practical. When we step into square one energy, right, which is also that beginner's mind, we activate both the sacred and the strategic. Here are a few prompts, and I know I'm kind of giving you quite a few questions, but I hope that you can either go back to the transcript and journal this out or see it in print. I know sometimes that helps when there's a lot of questions, especially if you're a visual learner. I hope this is valuable for you. Step 1, with this intention to reset, is clearing clutter. What needs to be released physically, digitally, emotionally? Because clutter clouds clarity. Clear space invites beauty. It invites awe and wonder and magic. I have a low clutter threshold. I cannot think straight or be creative if there's a lot of stuff around. Number 2, reconnect with your why. Go deeper than just helping people. What is the soul contract behind your business? What are you here to shift, transform, and wake up? Take time here. If you're caught up with what's not working for you, you may be focused too much on self-seeking. Flip to service and watch the flow state take place. 3, track what's actually working. Pull up your last 3 months of income. Where did it come from? What efforts produce the most ROI? And I want to invite you here to think of ROI not just as return on investment, but return on intuition as well. You may have a few things that weren't big money makers, but brought you connection and joy. For me, that's been some local workshops on various subjects like intuitive neuro art and cacao rituals. They're still in the line of transformation. They bring people into my sphere without having an immediate ROI, and they're still worth it. Step 4, create a soul-aligned back to basics plan. Choose 1 or 2 foundational practices to recommit to. Maybe that's voice note outreach, hosting an intimate workshop, or just being visible, raw, and real on a couple IG shorts. Okay, only you know what's going to work for you. You don't need 10 things to do here. I invite you to choose only 1 or 2 foundational practices that you commit to. So key. And lastly, number 5, use data with discernment. Tools like Google Analytics or metadata, even client feedback, it will never replace your intuition. It's helpful. By all means, keep doing that and watching it. Have an eye on your metrics, but let the data validate or recalibrate versus just blindly being led by it if it doesn't fit what you're feeling. You are always your best judge. How would it feel to put on the glasses, that have the perspective of the beginner's edge. Are you up for it? When you embrace square one, you give yourself the gift of presence. It also helps us slow down. I've been tuning into my higher power, and pretty much on a daily basis, the message is slow down. Slow down. When you embrace square one, you give yourself this humble opportunity to show up like you've never shown up before, to look through your eyes with wonder and awe and curiosity, and take away all the thoughts that you have all the answers, because we don't. And we don't need to. You just need to show up like it's the first time. Eyes wide, heart open, willing to learn again and again and again. Learn from your clients, from your intuition, from the divine. Let's end with a question to take into your journal or on a quiet walk. If I knew nothing about the way I should do business, what would I do today to connect, serve, and grow? And one more quote to hold as a mantra. Begin again with fierce gentleness. I love that. That's from Toko-pa Turner. You don't need a major pivot. You need a meaningful return. So here's to square one. It might just be the most powerful move that we can make. I hope that you found a glimmer of some sparkle that you're like, yes, I needed to hear that today. And you know that I'm a big fan of information with implementation. So dash me an email or a DM and let me know. Let me know. I would love to hear your answers to this question. If I knew nothing about the way I should do business, what would I do today to connect, serve, and grow? I would love to be a part of what's flowing through you. All right, my friend. I hope this was helpful. Until next week, breathe joy, and also share it with a friend. Pop on and give me a review at lovethepodcast.com/brilliance. It really helps. It helps others to find the show, and I always love to hear from you. Thanks again for listening.